Hey Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs, this is Mina, and this is your November 2020 horoscope prediction video. With the holidays coming up, I wanted to add some more information about family and friends to these readings, so each of these horoscope videos will be broken into 3 sections: relationships, the self, and material. In relationships, we're going to discuss your friends, family, and romance. I also want to pull some cards to see how you could best express your gratitude or what could help guide you on providing unique gifts for those around you during the beginning of this holiday season. We will then look at cards that represent how we connect to others and how we can set boundaries with our family and friends during this time. In the self section, we will discuss the lessons you're learning this month, how you should engage in self-care, your spirituality, strengths, and mental health. Lastly, in the material section, we'll discuss work and finances. Use the timestamps in the description box to skip to any section you're most interested in or to refer back to it throughout the month. At the end of the reading, we will roll the astro dice to get some more insight into the reading, as always. If you're watching this for someone that you love, there will be specific timestamps to the romance section, so you can skip there now. For those of you watching your sun sign video, please be sure to check out your moon and rising sign or ascendant sign video. This will give you the most personalized reading you can get in this generalized reading setting, and if you want a very personalized reading, I do offer them, so go ahead and send me an email at minanixtarot@gmail.com. If you don't know your sun, moon, and rising sign, I'll put a link to a natal chart creator in the description box so you can figure that out for yourself. I usually shuffle on camera for these horoscope videos, but I have a ton to cover this month. I'm gonna go ahead and skip over that part for you. All right, let's begin. Hopefully you have your mug of coffee or tea because we've got a lot of ground to cover today. So let's get started with the self section. This is going to be everything you need to know about what's going on with you internally in your world in November. So for your theme of the month, we've got the 6 of Cups. For spirituality, we've got the King of Pentacles reversed and this beautiful little message Spirit pulled for you guys. For self-care, the 5 of Wands reversed and don't give up. And then for mental health, we've got Yelena, She Who Knows, Wisdom, Clarity, and Resolution, as well as Amelie, She Who Questions, Curiosity, Destiny, and Search. Okay, very cool. So the theme of your month is the 6 of Cups, which means you're spending a lot of time reflecting on the past, thinking about your childhood potentially. You're just doing a lot of time reminiscing. This month for you is all about being youthful and playful and doing the things that you used to enjoy as a child. If you've never really looked into inner child work, I would heavily suggest that for you this month, Leo. It's going to be really, really impactful for you. And it's the thing that's going to bring about a lot of peace and resolution to your life in November. Spiritually, we've got the King of Pentacles reversed. You've become a little bit too hyper-focused on work lately, and it's made you kind of lose touch with your spiritual essence. So take some time to distance yourself from worrying about money or material possessions or what you can potentially gain physically, and start spending some time just connecting with the things that are important, the things that are making lasting, lifelong impacts in your life, such as your relationships or your connection with your intuition or any kinds of spiritual endeavors is really what you're being asked to do spiritually this month. So you're just not feeling it spiritually when you come into this month. You kind of, I'm sensing you're like at a loss with it, like it hasn't been going well lately, your relationships or your personal emotions, and so you've kind of cast that aside and you've decided to focus on work. And this is Spirit Guide trying to get you back to the realm of working on your spirituality. And they even pulled this card, I am a spirit having a human experience, and I'm here to get closer to love. So this is even a reminder, you're just a spirit living in a human world, and you're here to get closer to love. This is another way for them to say, hey, it's time for you to focus back in on your spiritual side and love and loving those around you who you super care about. That's going to be what's most important for you if you've sort of lost sight of that over the past couple of months. The 5 of Wands reversed, how can you provide that self-care? The way that you can provide self-care is by coming to some common ground on some long-term arguments you've been having with those people in your life. I understand now why you've maybe been blocking out people in your life, because it seems like every time you try to talk to them, it starts some kind of unnecessary fight, or uncomfortable situation or tension of some kind. So the way that you can best provide self-care for yourself is by coming to a common ground and compromising with people around you, reaching agreements, compromising, cooperation, peace, and harmony with people around you. And I love that it's paired with this Don't Give Up card, which is represented by the solar plexus chakra. That's your confidence center. That's your trusting your gut. This is really Spirit's way of saying, hey, I know the battle's been long, but you're very near the end of it. And so please don't give up. Please keep pushing forward. Please keep trying to live in this area of discomfort with people or with your own emotions or with your spirituality, if that's what you're having some disagreements about lately. Because if you see this through, you're very, very near a solution, and they want you to keep pushing forward through that. So the way for you to provide self-care for yourself is by not giving up on yourself and not giving up on the people around you. It's such a beautiful message. All of this is you're having a very spiritually relationship-centered month, Leo. For your mental health, Yelena and Amelie. Yelena is interesting. So she's asking you to look at all of the inner conflict and personal relationship conflict that you've been having, revisit it, let it fully permeate your heart, and then allow your brain in to help you logic through. She's asking you to combine your emotions and your intellect to solve these problems. And you can be very strong in both areas, Leo. So I understand why this is being asked of you. Basically, for your own mental health, you want to be able to feel it completely with your heart and then look at it from an outsider's logic perspective. Could even help for you to look outside the box for answers, things that you've never done before, try to solve them that way. So you're asking yourself, what emotional clues should I be paying attention to? And how can I open myself up to seeing all the facts? So before you go to sleep at night, maybe just say, hey, in this dream, I want to have an open mind to solutions. And then write down your dreams after you wake up and see if you can find any kind of solution in what you had dreamed of the night before. Amelie over here, this is a common theme that's popping up in everyone's reading. It's basically just saying that you're going to have an unexpected path presented to you. An unexpected thing, pointing somewhere that you've never ever dreamed of going before. You need to stop for a moment and tap into your curiosity and question why this path is formed and if it's something good for you to take on. For some of you, you may just need to re-examine what your beliefs are or what you do find true in this universe. Chances are you're going to be given an opportunity to make some changes in your life. Almost everyone is going through really severe changes in November in some area of their life. Every single reading has been about that. So that's just a collective thing we're going through at this time. So really start thinking, why is this path opened up for me? Where is this taking me on my journey? And is this the type of thing that's what I want to do moving forward in my life? Okay, let's move into the relationship section of the reading. For family, you've got the Magician reversed. For boundaries, the Knight of Cups and Eponia reversed. For your friends, they're bringing in the energy of the King of Swords. In love, for my single Leos, the Four of Pentacles, and for my Leos in a relationship, the Justice card. Okay, big warning for you this month, Leo, with the family card here. There could be some manipulation going on with your family. I can see this manifesting in a lot of ways for a lot of you, but there could be someone who comes to you and they may seem like they're on your side or they totally get it, and then they're secretly being a bit manipulative behind your back. So definitely, if your red flag goes up, if someone's being very nice to you and your family that's not normally that way, or is seemingly understanding and is going to help you and all of those things, and it's something you just feel weird about it, you feel like something's not right, then your intuition is correct there. And I would definitely tune into that. Fire signs are really good at connecting with their intuition and just doing things. You guys kind of like act intuitively without even realize that you're doing it. If there's something where you're like, feel like that's not right, then you are probably correct in that situation, so trust your gut. How can you set up boundaries with your family? The Knight of Cups and Eponia reversed. So I know for a lot of us, when the holidays are rolling around into town, we want to try to be everything to everyone and do what everyone wants and make people happy. And Napoleon reverse is really telling us to look inward and realize when it's time to take a break. It's the wise leadership card in reverse. So it's knowing when to take a step back. It's knowing when to trust that you maybe don't need to do anything in this moment. You need to take a break, and knowing when to take those steps forward. Beware of the tendency to overreach in this month. Beware of the tendency to overextend yourself. It's easy to do because you're like, well, I'm just trying to do what's best for everyone around me. And so it makes it feel like the noble thing to do, but in reality, it's pushing you too far. And then you're going to act out of fear and insecurity, and it's going to create some tension that maybe doesn't need to be there. And that could be what your family members are picking up on and then reflecting back to you. The Knight of Cups is about looking at every situation with excitement. It's literally the card of having grace under pressure. So being diplomatic and knowing when and where to put up those boundaries and be like, hey, no, I'm sorry, I can't engage in that. I just don't have the full time to give my commitment to it. And when to say, yeah, sure, I have time for that. You're the leader in this situation. You're the leader of your own boundary setting. You're the one who needs to make the rules. And if you don't have the rules going into it, or you're not listening to yourself to figure out what is and is not going to be too much, then you're going to be easily swayed by other people. So I feel like this is Spirit's way of saying the way that you need to put up your boundaries is to really turn inwards into your feelings. If you're feeling overwhelmed, then maybe you don't do 3 Christmases this year. I know I grew up in a home where both my parents were divorced, so every Thanksgiving and Christmas and all the major holidays, it was like we had to do 5 or 6 of them, and my mom was just like a weeping pile on the floor a lot of those years. It was so stressful. And so I feel like if she would have just said, hey, we're going to catch you guys on Thanksgiving and you guys on Christmas and split it up, then it would have been a lot easier for her. But she didn't set those boundaries because she had the very good intention of, well, it's for family and we do it for family and we give family as much as we can. And that's a beautiful sentiment. But if there's nothing left for you to give, then you really can't give to family in the way that you're wanting to anyways. Your friends are currently in the vibe of the King of Swords here. Friends are kind of feeling a little bit cynical. They're basically using their intellect in a negative way. So things that appear to be smart, they're using against themselves and situations. And so the energy that they're bringing into things is just, they're really making irrational, illogical decisions. What they think is they're using their intellect of their experiences to make decisions. They're denying their emotions, so their emotions are like slipping out in these ways to create what should be logical into irrational decisions. Hopefully that makes some kind of a sense. So they're doing things with a lack of integrity because to them it seems like the most intellectual way of going about it, but in reality they're just denying their own emotions and they're not embracing them and accepting what they are, and so it's coming off to be this really weird vindictive situation. It doesn't necessarily mean they're being vindictive to you, but I think you're having conversations with people and you're like, why does this keep happening to my friend? That's why. It's because they're denying their truest emotions, their sadness and their grief and their frustrations, and instead they're twisting it into this like hyper-logical, irrational action. This is going to be especially true, I'm hearing, if you have a Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra friend that you're quite close with. This is going to be a big struggle for them this month. So just be on the lookout for trying to be the person that maybe plays the devil's advocate a little bit, or being the person who allows them to express those frustration moments. Maybe you're the person who allows your friends to vent this month, and then you guys can kind of have like a venting session where you say stuff that you're frustrated about. It seems like you got a lot going on with your family. So maybe you can talk about what you're frustrated with your family and vice versa, and both of you can get some healthy emotions out that way, by kind of being there for each other instead of both of you going off and being a bit irrational. Let's move into love. So for my single Leos, we've got the 4 of Pentacles. You're really in a spot fearing starting something new. You're holding yourself back from meeting anyone new. What I mean by that is you're still holding on to the feelings of an ex. You may have moved on from your ex, but you're still holding on to that fear of losing and getting into a bad situation again. And so it's become very clear to other people that you're still kind of fearful of starting something new, and so they're reflecting back on you the lack of desire to start something new. You really need to take on these issues before you can fully embrace a new relationship. So maybe you need to do some meditation, or I think I mentioned before, before you dream at night, you can just say, hey, what are the things that need to be brought to my attention? Can you please show them in my dreams? Record those dreams and then see what you need to meditate on later that day. Sometimes that helps me get a clearer headspace and figure out what's going on. Your conscious mind can't always understand what's going on in your subconscious mind, and it can be really hard to connect to your true emotions when both of those things are out of sync. So hopefully that helps. For my Leos in a relationship, we've got the Justice card here. Since this card kind of flip-flops depending on whether it's good or bad for you, I'm going to go ahead and pull a clarifier card real quick so we can see what's going on here. Leos in a relationship, November 2020. Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising in a relationship, November 2020. Got the Two of Wands reversed here. There are two situations going on here. For some of you, your partner are holding back because you're afraid to leave the comfortability of what the relationship is and move into a phase of unknown. So there's a bit of grappling with change and accepting change and moving on to the next phase. You'll know which one is your situation. There's another group of you here that if your partner has been withdrawing, so they've been kind of detaching from the relationship and you're getting less and less time with them, then this month is where you're going to see a complete turnaround and things are going to get quite serious quite fast, including potentially even some kind of a bigger commitment or a movement towards getting married or something of that nature. That's if they've been withdrawing, things are getting ready to turn around. If you've both been in a place where you've talked about moving on and neither of you really feels comfortable, basically if you've been feeling fear about the relationship, about taking the relationship to the next level or opening up in the way that you would need to have a higher committed relationship, then this could be the time where you really consider whether it's time to move on from the relationship or whether you're going to accept that change is occurring in your relationship and that change needs to happen for it to grow to the next space and move on. So lots going on for Leo in love, lots of internal struggle affecting the romantic world this month. I think I told you it was going to be a lot about relationships this month. And you haven't been focusing so much on relationships. I think a lot of you have been withdrawing. So that's where some of this tension is coming in as well. Moving on to the material world for career and finance. For work, you've got the Six of Pentacles reversed. And for money, you've got the Three of Pentacles. Woo, Pentacles cards for work. Love that, Leo. Some clear-cut messages in work. While there was some murkiness and a lot of things going on in a relationship, messages are quite clear from Spirit and work. A lot of you are being very underappreciated at work. There's someone in the power position that's taking advantage of you. Remember, if a company is not willing to give you the same kindness and loyalty that you're willing to give them, then something needs to change there. So if you are spending a whole bunch of time giving them all your time and energy and ideas and creativity and you're getting nothing back in return, then you need to contemplate whether that job is for you. For a lot of you, you're going to realize it's time for you to move on. You've been spending all this time being the yes person instead of really truly looking in to see if that's what's best for you. And you need to take the time to start speaking your truth at work. Financially, you're going to be rewarded soon for your efforts. So whether it's you start looking for other work and find a job that's going to pay you more and you get to leave your previous job and move on, or whether it's you voice your opinion and you say, hey, I've been taken advantage of and I'd like XYZ. Obviously, you want to use more diplomatic language than that. They're going to say, okay, yeah, no, you're right, you deserve it. And they're going to start giving you those things that you deserve. Either way, money is going to be coming to you because of how hard you've been working and how determined you are to do things. So I see huge rewards for you in money. That doesn't necessarily mean huge amounts of money coming to you, but you're definitely going to see an increase in finances for you this month, Leo. So that's really exciting. Lastly, let's roll the Astro Dice. Okay, we've got the third house represented by Gemini. I think this is the Libra symbol there. And the Neptune ruled by Pisces, so this is saying that you have Pisces, Gemini, or Libra somewhere else in your sun, moon, or rising sign. This is confirmation that this reading is for you. In the grand scheme of things, though, what this is really talking about, Neptune is all about kind of ripping back delusion. I think you've been in a delusional state that working so hard and driving so hard is really what's going to give you success, and that's kind of been crushed, and you're learning that personal, interpersonal relationships with this Libra here and communication with this Gemini here are going to be the things that are most fulfilling for you at this time. I love the combination of Gemini and Libra here. These are signs that are very concerned with social activistness, or connecting with one's interests, or being there for the people that are most close to you. And I feel like developing a really strong communication style is going to be something that comes easily for you. You're going to have an easier time communicating what's going on in your mind and communicating with your heart than you have been in the past couple of months, Leo. It's very exciting. These are all the messages I'm getting for you. If this video resonates, give it a like. Comment down below on which sections you feel should be a regular addition to the monthly horoscope readings. I'm always trying to change things up so that you feel that you have the exact information that you want each month. Subscribe to my channel for more pick a card videos as well as monthly horoscope readings. I will see you next time. Bye, Leo.